Welcome in for my college football playoff predictions slash Heisman winner prediction. Today, I'm going to just, very short video, not going to be super long, compared to my other prediction videos. I will be going down, giving you guys who I think is going to make the playoff, along with the winners of each matchup, all the way to we have a national champion, along with my Heisman. We'll start with my Heisman winner, and then we'll do my bracket. For my Heisman winner this year, there's a lot of great players to pick from. But if I have to go with one, I'm going to go with Lenore Sellers, from the quarterback from South Carolina. This dual threat quarterback, really fast, really good player. I think South Carolina's going to have a phenomenal year, and I think he wins the Heisman. So that's my Heisman prediction winner. And now it's time to go into the bracket. My 12-team bracket here, how I think it's going to go. We'll start off from we'll go from 1 to 12. Starting in at number 1, the SEC champion, going 13-0 this year, I have the Texas Longhorns. Texas is looking amazing right now, right? Arch Manning is putting together. The offensive defense looks amazing, and I think this team's going to go undefeated and deserve themselves as the number 1 spot in the whole country. Number 2, very similar story out of the ACC. I have the Clemson Tigers going 13-0. ACC champions and being the 2 seed. Cade Klubnik and this squad is going to put together a phenomenal year. Especially, I think they're just going to run through a not super strong ACC and be the 2 seed. For the 3 seed, give me the Penn State Nittany Lions. If it's James Franklin's year, it's this year to win the national championship. This team looks amazing with Drew Howard, Singleton. The defense looks amazing. They returned so much production from last year. Clemson had the best production return from last year, but Penn State looks amazing right now. They're my 3. For my 4, I have Arizona State to go 11-1 and win the Big 12 to go 12-1. For Penn State, only lost to Ohio State to win the Big 10. I know it just happens to be my 4 highest are all the conference winners. But yeah, Arizona State at the 4, only lost to Texas Tech in the regular season. For my 5 seed, playing against the 12 seed, my 5 seed, I have the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think Alabama goes 11-2 this year. They lose their regular season game to South Carolina and the SEC title game to Texas. Alabama looks like they can really put on a show this year, and I like them a lot. Right? I think Ryan Williams coming back for his sophomore season right now after having one of the most shocking years out of anyone last year. And Alabama is built to win. Right? They're built for this. I think they have an amazing squad getting put together. Right? We'll see, right? Ty Simpson, as long as he plays pretty well, Alabama should have no problems at all. For my 6th seed, I'm going to go with the independent school, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. An 11-1 year. Only loss, I think, is week 1 to Miami. Safe to say. This team looks really good. I think Marcus Freeman's working with an amazing group of players right now, and they're hungry from their loss last year in the national title game and trying to get back there. For my 7th seed, I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks. Again, I know Oregon, some people say they fall off. I think they got a little bit better. I just think everyone got better than they did, right? If that makes sense, right? They lost Dylan Gabriel. They lost their star wide receiver. But I still think they're going to be a good team. They're going to have to at least host a playoff game. For my 8th seed, I'm going to go with the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're going to be going 10-2. Oh, for Oregon, sorry. Oregon, I'm going 11-1. They're going to miss. They're only lost to Penn State. They miss the Big Ten title game. Excuse me, they play in the Big Ten title game against Penn State and lose again. So they go 11-2. Ohio State to go 10-2. Their 2 losses are going to be to Texas and Penn State, and they do not get in the Big Ten title game. Ohio State, right, they're really good. They look really good, right? I just think that they're going to come out. They have a freshman quarterback starting against Texas. I just think Texas takes them down week 1. And I also think they're going to lose to Michigan the final week of the season. So they're my 8th seed. For my 9th seed, I have the Florida Gators to go 10-2. DJ Lagway, entering his sophomore year, should be a huge piece and the real reason this team wins, right? We saw how hot they were to end the year last year, getting some huge wins over LSU and Ole Miss, right? They were hot to end the year, and I think that momentum rising this year as they go 10-2. Their losses, I believe, are to... I'm trying to remember. Florida's losses this year for them are to Texas and to LSU. So those are Florida going 10-2. For my 10 seed, coming out of the ACC, I have the Miami Hurricanes to go 10-3. their only loss being, their two losses, my bad. Their two losses, obviously one being in the ACC title game to Clemson, but also I think they're going to lose to Florida and Virginia Tech. So I have them as the 10th seed, and they're going to be on the road at Oregon. 11, this is where my Heisman winner, Lenora Sellers in South Carolina, get in. These are the final Power 4 team to get in here, going 10-2. I think the schedule's a little bit too tough, right? If their schedule is a little bit easier, very well could be 11-1, 12-0 type of season. I just think they have a little bit of a challenge schedule. I think they're going to lose to LSU and Clemson. And I know, you're right, they beat Clemson last year, but I still think that, right, they're not going to do that every year. I think Clemson has the same story. They're hungry for that win. They're going to come back and get it. So South Carolina goes 10-2 and is the 11th seed, and they're going to be at Notre Dame. And 12, I have Boise State getting in there. I know they lost Genty, but they're still going to be a great team, so we'll look out for them as the 12th seed. So there's my bracket now. Now it's time to predict my first round games, right? We'll start with the 5-12 and we'll work up to the 8-9. So, in the 5-12 matchup between Alabama and Boise State, this shouldn't even be a question. I think Alabama steamrolls through Boise State and gets an easy win. I think Ryan Williams could have 100-plus receiving yards this game, multiple touchdown type of game, and Ty Simpson just throws all over that team. And it's just the sad truth, right? You're having an SEC team against a group of 5 team. It's unfair, but Alabama wins. In the 6-11 matchup, we're going to see Notre Dame versus South Carolina. South Carolina on the road at South Bend. Do I think they get it done? I think they do, as they will beat Notre Dame in a little 6-11 upset there. So I will take South Carolina to beat Notre Dame. In the 7-10, we have Oregon versus Miami. Carson Beck in a 10-3 season against the Oregon Ducks. Both teams I see losing their conference title games, and I think Miami actually goes on the road to Aztec Stadium and gets it done somehow. I just think they can match up very well with Oregon compared to some other teams that are this high caliber, and Miami finds the way and gets it done. In the 8-9, we have Ohio State and Florida. It's the exact story as Ohio State, Tennessee. A 10-2 SEC school goes to Ohio State. They try to take it over, and Ohio State just steamrolls through it. So I'll take Ohio State there. So now in the next round, you can see here, we'll have Texas, Ohio State, Clemson versus Miami, Penn State, South Carolina, and Arizona State versus Alabama. So we'll actually start with Arizona State, Alabama, and we'll move up to get to the Texas, Ohio State game. In the 4-5 between Arizona State and Alabama, I think Alabama wins. I think it's this, again, very similar to the story last year of a really good SEC team. The SEC runner-up plays against Arizona State. They give them a good fight, but overall the SEC team wins. So I will take Alabama to get to the Final Four. In Penn State, South Carolina will be an amazing game. It's just giving Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl vibes for some reason. And I think it's a great game. And I think South Carolina plays their best and Penn State plays their best. But alternately, I think this is like one of the biggest wins of James Franklin's career. Right? And I know people are like, James Franklin has those wins. He does not have that big win yet. Right? I'm sorry. Boise State and SMU are not big wins. They're good wins. I'm waiting for the wins of beating teams that spend $1 million in NIL money. South Carolina's almost there. It's not there quite yet. And Penn State ends up going to the Final Four as they take down South Carolina. Miami versus Clemson. I think the story run ends here. Give me Clemson by 20. It just feels that Clemson is going to roll through every ACC team they play. And yeah. And Texas, Ohio State, I think it's a matchup from last year's college football playoff, along with the Week 1 matchup this year. And I think Ohio State gets the Week 1 matchup revenge and gets the Final Four. So, our Final Four, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson versus Penn State. We'll start with Clemson versus Penn State. This game will be amazing, right? You have arguably the two best teams in returning production last year. This is Drew Aller versus Cade Klubnik. This is two amazing defenses. This is the game that James Franklin needs to say that he can win big games against teams that spend millions and millions of dollars. And I think Penn State finally gets it done and goes to the national title game against either Ohio State or Alabama. It is Penn State's year to finally do it. It is. And I think they take down Clemson, and they shock the college football world. So I'd assume Clemson's the favorite in that game. I'm just going to be honest with you. And then Ohio State, Alabama, an amazing game. Arguably, like, two teams that very well could be put in the national title game against each other next year. This year, no question about it. But I will take the 5 seed Alabama to get to the national title game against Penn State. And Alabama versus Penn State in the national championship, I will take Alabama is my national championship prediction winner this year. I think Alabama is flying under the radar like crazy in this preseason right now, but no one realizes just how good of a team Alabama really is. And they beat Penn State. Penn State does fall just short of winning it all, and Alabama is your 2025 national champions. Like I said, it was going to be a short video, but I was like, I'm going to do this video anyways. So yeah, Alabama is my national champion prediction to win it all. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and yep, see you later.